during stressful or busy seasons. Maybe you get overwhelmed and you stop working out altogether. Maybe you stop focusing on nutrition because you just don't have the bandwidth. Or maybe you just keep telling yourself that you're going to start your health and fitness journey once things finally calm down just a little. But here's the thing though, things don't usually calm down. They might calm down in one area and then they get less calm in another area. And every time that you press pause on your fitness journey or you neglect to start it, what I want you to know is that it's costing you more than you realize. All right. What if pressing pause on your fitness is actually keeping you even more stressed, causing you to regain weight easier and making your health worse when none of that is actually necessary? Well, today I want to show you a completely different way to think about fitness during the hard seasons of your life. And it's not only going to affect your confidence, your energy, and your quality of life, but it's going to affect your health and fitness. It's going to affect how you do life every single day. See, most people, they gain significant weight during stressful seasons, and rightfully so. When we're stressed out, it's pretty hard to kind of keep focusing on the right things. Some, though, because stress alone wrecks their hormones, their sleep and eating habits, and others simply because they straight up pause working out. They pause focusing on their nutrition. They pause everything that was actually keeping them healthy in the first place. And some don't go back until weeks later, some months later, some years later, and some never. And that is the real travesty. This happens because of a false belief that things will feel better and less overwhelming if you just pause your fitness for now. The problem is that they're pausing the wrong thing, and it's costing them so much more than they realize. Hey, if you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. This is Lance, and I'm so glad to have you. If you've not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the like. It really helps the channel and helps the algorithm to get so much more of this content out to people just like you, so that people can stop wasting time on temporary makeovers and they can finally get a permanent transformation built on rock instead of sand. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is go through what people do, what actually happens, and why this is such a travesty doing it this way, and what to do instead. All right. So what most people do when life gets stressful is they stop working out altogether. They stop their cardio, they stop stretching, they stop focusing on nutrition, or they keep putting off starting their health journey until things get less chaotic, okay? They tell themselves it's temporary, just until the season passes. It's crazy, you gotta live, right? We justify all of these things that we do that don't serve us after we make an emotional decision, such as I'm going to stop keeping myself healthy. That's in essence what we're doing. So the issue is that this is all or nothing thinking, and it's keeping you stuck thinking that if you can't do it full throttle, there's just no reason to do it at all. I was raised that way. If you can't do something with excellence, don't do it. It's not worth doing. But guys, this is a lie, because most of the time doing something with excellence only happens once you practice and you do it consistently to begin with. So avoiding it does not help you to do the very thing that you think that you are trying to do. All right. So with that said, where was I at here? I want to make sure. So a lot of this comes down to not really understanding what keeps you fit and healthy in the first place. Most people don't know this. So they're just like, well, Lance, I'm eating healthy. Lance, I'm doing this. And then all of a sudden, Lance, I can't keep going. They don't realize it's not just eating healthy and being busy and working out around the clock that keeps you healthy. Okay, so if they can't do everything the way that they were doing before, or what they think that it takes to get the weight off, they just stop entirely or avoid starting altogether. Okay, maybe you can relate to that. I know I can for sure. Here's where the problem compounds though. For most people, this becomes a very, very repeating cycle. They go through this for years, and it does not just stagnate. It actually gets worse. So they work hard to lose the weight. They grind through cardio and workouts. They cut carbs. They drop the weight. They start to feel great. But then a stressful season hits, and they never learned how to do this sustainably. So they stop everything. The weight starts creeping back, sometimes all of it, sometimes even more than what they lost. Trust me. I've seen this a lot. And then people are freaking out like, oh my gosh, I've wrecked my metabolism. No, you've just slowed it down, and it can be built back up. So the cholesterol goes up, blood pressure goes up, energy starts going down along with confidence, okay? Then when things calm down, they try to lose it again. They try to get their health markers back and get the doctor off their back and show that their BMI is better. But here's what they didn't realize. Every time that they've done this cycle, they were losing lean body mass and slowing their metabolism along the way. That's what happens. Okay. So losing lean body mass means already a slower metabolism. But even worse, when most people lose weight by slashing calories way too low and not getting nearly enough protein, when you do this, the body is going to adapt even more to that low calorie dieting over time, and it down regulates your metabolism by as much as 10%. Now, 10% doesn't sound like much, but if you are normally eating 2,400 calories, imagine just getting 240 calories less, or you're eating 240 calories less and you're not seeing any additional weight loss. That's what happens, and that sucks. So your body starts eventually burning muscle for fuel instead of fat when you're eating this low and you're not eating enough protein and you're not working out. So now, again, your metabolism gets slower, you're losing lean body mass, which means that you're getting weaker. And as we get older, at past 35, every decade, we're going to lose a couple percent of lean body mass or muscle and strength if we don't keep up with increased protein and resistance training as it is. Guys, what's happening is we're getting unhealthier. And this is where disease and all of these things start happening over time, because we're avoiding not just looking better, but we're avoiding keeping ourselves healthy and staving off those things that normally happen as we get older. Okay. So cortisol begins to spike during stress already, which accelerates muscle loss and fat storage, especially around the midsection. Maybe you're already noticing that, okay? Stopping exercise and all nutrition focus during this makes all of it significantly worse. It's not going to be better. You're not going to feel better like, oh, I can breathe. I can finally get this done. Not at all. Your hormones begin to get disrupted. Your testosterone drops. Your thyroid gets altered. So all of this adds up. Each restart gets so much harder than the last one. So the weight comes off not only slower, but it comes back faster. So over time, you're looking at weight regain. You're looking at pre-diabetes risk, if not type 2 diabetes, cholesterol issues, lower energy, lower confidence, lower mood. There's so many more things, guys, that I've seen with clients that they'll get over the years when they pause or stop working out. Because it would be one thing if we just stopped exercising, or if we just stopped treating our, doing nutrition as dialed in, but we don't. We stop it altogether. And then we don't just like get a little less healthy. We get way unhealthy because the stress is driving us to basically act out of our flesh. Now, what I mean by this is that, again, the Bible talks about walking in the spirit versus walking in the flesh. And when we're this emotional, we're, instead of dying to our flesh by working out and still making ourselves choose foods that are healthy and so on and so forth, we instead basically operate fully in the flesh in this entire season of stress. Okay. Does this make sense? This is why we get so unhealthy, because now we don't have things that are actually reducing stress, inflammation, and cortisol. Instead, now we have things exacerbating it. That's a real problem. All right. So that's the first part, all right? So now let's talk about what's the alternative. We know all the bad now. We're like, oh gosh, this is scary. What do we do? Well, it's really simple. I want to tell you about something that I call the simmer method. And this is something that, gosh, what is it, 2026? So 10 years, maybe 10 or 11 years, I started using this I'm going to call it a method, but really it's a mindset. It's a principle. So most people treat fitness kind of like a light switch. It's on or it's off. It's all or it's nothing. Okay. Can you relate to that? That was me for years. So when life gets hard, this switch goes off and everything that we just talked about starts happening. What if instead, though, you actually thought about it like a stove burner that you can turn up or down depending on the season, instead of like an on or off light switch? Well, that's exactly what I've done with my clients, and it works absolutely amazingly. So when life gets hard, you don't turn it off, you simmer it. You just turn down the burner on your health and fitness. You keep the heat on. You don't take the kettle off. You don't take the pot off, whatever. You don't turn the flame off. If this is a stove burner instead of a light switch, you just turn it down. That's all. Now I'm going to show you what that looks like too. Okay. So you keep the heat on because, again, it costs you everything that we just covered. Simmer costs you almost nothing and it keeps you in the game. So what I mean by this is that when we turn the light off costs you everything. When you simmer, it costs you almost nothing. You're still able to maintain, you're still able to stay healthy. You're basically helping the cortisol. You're increasing. Well, again, I'll get to that here in a second. Otherwise, I get ahead of myself. So for the person who has not started yet and keeps waiting for things to calm down, here's what I want you to know. You've been keeping that burner off entirely because you might think that it has to burn white hot or not at all. Meaning that it's got to be just like, Lance, I'm showing up to 5 workouts a week and I'm giving it my all, or I just am not going to do it. And I get it, but that's not the reality of what's going to keep you healthy and fit. It's not the best way or optimal way to do this, okay? So what you need to know is that you don't need hour-long workouts. You don't need fasted cardio. You don't need meal prep every Sunday. That's not how this has to work. And I'm going to show you exactly what simmering looks like here in just a minute, okay? So here's why keeping it on simmer instead of turning it off changes everything for you. Number one, at worst, you gain a few pounds maximum because you kept the burner on. You just turned it down instead of turning off the light switch, all right? So exercise is one of the only proven natural regulators of cortisol, okay? So stopping it during high stress removes one of your best tools for managing a hard season itself. Okay, so we know that if we go and do like talk therapy and go to a counselor, that in and of itself begins to reduce some of the stress. Imagine if you needed talk therapy and somebody just said like, well, you're too stressed, stop going. You'd be like, well, that doesn't make any sense because I actually feel better and I feel more motivated after I leave the counselor. Well, what if that counseling session didn't even produce as much cortisol reduction, oxytocin, serotonin as what your workout will? You wouldn't want to cancel your counseling session because it makes you feel better, but your workout actually has more properties to help you feel even better in the long term than a counseling session, okay? So we don't want to cut those things out in times of stress. It's basically just like, I'm going to stop taking my stress medicine and I'm just going to let my body handle it. Why? When workouts are going to help you, okay? So here's what you need to know. Stopping it during high stress removes your best tool, but even 20 minutes of resistance training triggers dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, not to mention some oxytocin. Okay, so your brain chemistry works better. You think more clearly and less emotionally during the exact season that you need that most. Guys, this is exactly what stewardship is. You're doing something even when you don't feel like it so that you can maintain health and you can take care of the things that the Lord has blessed you with so that you can be blessed with more, okay? It really is that simple. So studies show that consistent exercisers during high stress periods report significantly better decision-making and emotional regulation compared to those who stop. So my question is if you're in a stressful season, would you rather make more emotional decisions to help you navigate through the stress? Or would you rather be able to make decisions that are clearer, that feel like you're making ones out of confidence and you're able to actually understand what you're doing and you're not making this decision out of anxiety, out of scarcity, out of fear? All right. So you maintain confidence and actually see it increase as you learn to keep going, even when everything else feels hard, okay? That is the beauty of this, all right? So not only do you get better decision-making and emotional regulation, but your confidence goes up, your energy stays up, all right? And again, this is one area you can control when everything else feels completely out of control. You can control being in the Word. You can control what you eat. You can control what you do. So even if it feels like your bills are crazy, the world's in chaos, it doesn't matter. You are stewarding over your home, your body, and your family the way that the Lord has instructed you. That is something to be proud of, and that's something to honestly really maintain. It's something to really protect, okay? So your libido, your mood, your heart health, your bone density, all stay supported when you turn the burner down instead of turning off and on a light switch for your fitness. You become more resilient also, not just physically, but as a person. Guys, in these let's say, strongly emotional seasons where we're overwhelmed, maybe it's a desert season that you're in or coming out of, I would strongly implore that if you do these things that I'm instructing here, that I'm talking about, you are going to notice that stressful seasons are no longer dreaded because they grow you. They stretch you and you get refined, and the Lord takes you into the next level. You're getting leveled up. So we don't want to pause the things that helped us to get to this level. or pause the things that keep us healthy so we can get to the next one. All right. All right. Very final part here, guys. Here's what simmering actually looks like. I'm going to give you the exact minimum so that you know what is simmering. Like, how do I do this? If I'm used to turning fitness on and off like an off switch, how do I do this simmer thing? I have no clue. Well, good news is I've done this for years with my clients. I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So for nutrition, eating well during a hard season doesn't mean clean eating and meal prep 24/7. Let me repeat this. You do not have to eat healthy and clean 24/7 for you to maintain your fitness or to maintain or to simmer your nutrition health, okay? So stay within your calories. Now, you might have heard me talk about this on other videos. There are 3 things that you need to worry about for your nutrition only. Number 1, stay within your calories, meaning you should know how many calories your body needs in order to either maintain your weight or to lose weight safely, okay? If you need help with that, drop a comment below or send me a message. I will be happy to help you. Okay, so number 1, we stay within our calories. Number 2, you got to hit your protein target. I've talked about what those targets are on many other videos, but essentially about 1 gram of protein per pound of your goal body weight, not your current body weight, your goal body weight will help you. Really, you could get away with 0.8 to 1 grams of protein per pound of your goal body weight. So if you weigh 150, you want to weigh 120, you are doing 120 protein or under, okay? The last part is hit your fiber target. Fiber is pretty easy, about 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. Focus on only those 3 things, nothing else when you are in a stressful season or when you're getting started. Choose very simple meals and be very okay with eating some things more regularly until you have more bandwidth and energy to put into meals again. But you don't have to meal prep. You just got to be okay eating repetitiously at least for a little bit. Guys, I know some of these sounds a little boring, but trust me, boring while you stay healthy and disease-free and confidence goes up and energy stays good, I promise you, especially as we get older, it is worth its weight in gold, all right? So for movement, we talked about nutrition. What do we do on movement? Well, number 1, you can reduce your workout time to as little as 20 minutes. I know what you're thinking, like 20 minutes, is that going to do anything? Yes, we're comparing you doing nothing. You normally go from X amount, 60 minutes down to 0. We're talking about going from 60 or 40 minutes down to 20. It doesn't mean you must hit like 20 as no higher. It just means that this is your starting point. And I'll explain what this looks like. So we reduce our workout time to as little as 20 minutes. We reduce our workout frequency to as little as 2 times a week as needed. You don't need to go to 0 times a week, but you also don't need to hit 5 times a week in a stressful season. 2 times a week, as long as you're doing progressive overload, will keep you healthy, will keep you fit, will keep your metabolism good, okay? So this is what we want to do, all right? Now, the other part you can do is you can reduce your intensity if your central nervous system needs a little bit of a break. So if you're like, oh gosh, man, I just feel like my nerve's on fire, no problem. Stop doing HIIT training if you're doing that. Focus on strength and resistance training and make sure that your intensity is not super high. Now, I've got other videos talking about intensity, so I won't get through that on this one. But what I'm saying, guys, is you can reduce your frequency, your intensity, your duration, okay? The other thing you can do is you can replace dedicated cardio sessions with a daily step goal. It's lower barrier and it still works, meaning instead of trying to get 30 minutes of cardio in, you're just going to aim for between 5 to 10,000 daily steps. Very, very simple to do. This is a minimum thing that you should be getting as it is to be healthy. So it's very, very simple, okay? Now, the final thing that I'm going to give you guys is what I call the good, great, and awesome goal system. And I've used this for a long time. I actually borrowed this from more of a business and sales kind of method, but it has worked so, so well. So the last 21 years, I've used it. So the good, great, and awesome goal system, instead of one target that you either hit or miss, you set 3. A target that you hit or miss is like, I'm going to work out 5 times a week. Then if you work out 3, you've missed it. That sucks. If you work out 4 times, you've missed your target. What I want my clients to do, and this works so much better, is to have 3 different targets. Your good goal is your minimum, 20 minutes for your duration. This is what you do when everything is hectic and you've got hardly anything left. Your great goal is a little bit higher. It's your middle goal. It's 25 minutes. A little bit more time and energy available for you, you can do this one. And then your awesome goal is your best. It's 30 minutes or higher. Okay. This is what's great. If you're having a crappy week where you've got low energy, low time, you hit your good goal. 20 minutes, you hit your good goal on frequency also. Okay. Which I'll explain. Same rule with frequency. Your good goal is 2 times a week. Your great goal is 3 and your awesome goal is 4. So if you're having a really stressful week, you're hitting 2 20-minute workouts because you're hitting your good goal on frequency and duration. Okay. It's so simple. But then you're like, yeah, but then the next couple of days I got great sleep and felt awesome. So I decided to hit my great goal, my middle goal, which means you hit 25 minutes or maybe you hit a third workout. Either way, makes no difference. But now what happens is you can scale up and down based on your stress that week. But instead of going 6 times a week or 0 times a week, you're anywhere from 2 to 4 times a week, anywhere from 20 to 60 minutes based on how you feel, what your schedule is, and what you're able to produce. Now, yes, you should expect less results in this time. One thing that absolutely cracks me up is that some people are like, Lance, I just need to scale back. And so I'm like, cool, let me show you how to do it. They scale back and they're like, they check in on their measurements and they're like, my measurements didn't do as good. I'm really disappointed. And I'm like, didn't you want to scale back? Yeah, but I didn't expect that it was going to slow down my measurements. Why? You're doing less cardio, less this, less that. Why would you not expect that? So do expect that you're going to get less results. I don't want you to be emotional and still expect the exact same results as if you're putting in double the work. But be okay scaling back your work so you are only working out 2 times a week for 20 minutes if needed on one of those hard weeks. Guys, this is making sense. Drop a comment below and let me know, is this making sense? Is this resonating? Do you think that this is something that would benefit you instead of doing the all or nothing light switch method, switching over to the burner method where we're simmering instead? I know it's helped my clients. It's helped me. I want to hear from you though. So as I mentioned, same rule with frequency. Good goal is 2 times. Great goal is 3 times a week and awesome is 4. You can do this with literally anything. It does not have to be with fitness, okay? Each week you look at how things are going and you choose which goal fits. So some weeks are all good goal targets. That's completely fine. The burner is still on simmer instead of off. Other weeks or days will be absolutely less need of simmer and you can simply hit your great or your awesome target. Awesome, okay? This is what kills the all or nothing light switch mentality permanently. You will have not great weeks where you just get your good goal and it doesn't feel great. But let me tell you something. If you're tracking, as you should, each week that you're consistently checking off boxes to go, this week, I did good. I hit my workouts. I tracked my food. I did good. If you're doing that, it doesn't matter that you scaled back because it feels so great to go, yeah, it wasn't my best week, but man, it feels so good to stop stopping all the time and to stop starting over. And this is how you do it. You must change your mindset if you want to be fit and healthy forever, okay? All right, so the last part of this, guys, stressful seasons are not going away. You need to know that. You got to make your peace with it. The Bible's very clear. The rain falls on the righteous and the unrighteous alike. So we are going to have rainy, metaphorical days or weeks where it just doesn't feel great, okay? It's part of life. The people who figure out how to keep their health and fitness burner on simmer during those seasons stop the yo-yo weight regain cycle for good, okay? It's kind of like those people in stressful seasons who figure out that you don't stop reading the Bible, you don't stop praying, you don't stop going to church or whatever you're doing. You keep those things going because even though you're stressed, you need it more now than ever, okay? So their metabolism stays much higher. This is the people who do the simmer method. Their hormones stay regulated. Their confidence stays intact, all right? They have more energy, and this can be you. When the hard season finally passes, they're not starting from scratch with double-digit weight loss needed to feel normal again. They might have 4 to 5 pound maximum to lose. Much of that will be water weight, and the cool thing is their metabolism is going to be so much healthier in order to make this work, okay? So, lastly, if you've been the person who keeps pausing your health and fitness journey, your practices every time that life gets hard and you find yourself starting over more times than you'd like to admit, the fastest way that I know to help you to stop that cycle entirely is our 21-day fat loss kickstart, okay? It's the foundation of our proven Joyfully Fit 365 transformation system, and it's done with you in 21 days to give you a test drive of what we do and to show you how awesome this can be, okay? If you're a subscriber to this channel or my Joyfully Fit newsletter, the link below also has a code for 50% off, so don't miss that. Either way, I hope this was absolutely helpful for you. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button and all the YouTube algorithm stuff. It helps us out so much, guys. Thanks so much, and I will see you all on the next one.